JCS crew, good day to you all, or good evening, depending on the time that you are getting this. I know the time zones are different all over the world, so I figured I'd go ahead and say hello, aloha, hola, como estás? Yeah, what's up, everybody? So you're probably wondering what this little quad here is basically representing. Well, it's about that time of the year again, and I kind of wanted to nip this one in the bud for anybody who is either going, interested in going, or wants to know about all the hype with regards to Blade Show. That's right, June 7th through 9th in 2019. That's going to be Friday through Sunday in June. The masses will be gathering at the Cobb Galleria Center, the exhibit hall. It's the John A. Williams Ballroom in Atlanta, Georgia, to discuss knives, buy knives, sell knives, auction knives, and some other non-knife gear. Now, why do I have this out? And why have I prepped for this for months? Well, truth is, this is actually my third year attending Blade Show. This is going to be my second as Daily Carry Solutions. It was actually one of the first activities I did as part of my YouTube channel, which actually just recently hit a year, which is crazy how time flies. But I digress. Back to the subject. The show itself, there is a lot that if you haven't been there, or if you're going for the first time, or maybe interested in going, that you should know about. So I figured I'd go ahead and kind of just create this video as a bit of a banter, okay? To be able to explain a little bit about what to expect, and a couple of changes that have been kind of going on over the years, a couple of tips that I can go ahead and provide from my brief experience at Blade Show, and things that I think that you can walk away with after you've seen this particular video that will make you overall kind of, I don't know, maybe guide your decision as to I don't know how much money you should spend at Blade Show, or what you should divert your energy or attention to while you're at the show. So let's go ahead and get started with the map itself. And it's kind of big, so I'm gonna see if I can kind of just go ahead and show you very briefly. This is a brief, I guess you can say, schematic of the John Williams Ballroom in the Cobb Galleria Center over at Blade Show. And as you can see, there's a couple of things that are highlighted. It's pretty small text, but chances are you can probably see it. Those are places that I plan to want to visit. They're definitely places that have people that I want to meet, or products that I want to see if maybe I can go ahead and get some of that information and put it up here for the show. So that is one thing. Now, secondly, you'll notice that there's a couple highlighted areas. Now, before I get into that, I'll just go ahead and say this is not all just one big room. The convention center, in this case, Blade Show, has split up into two rooms. This is the second year that they've done that. The first year I went in 2017, it was just one big, it was the main room. And then what happened is they had so many more exhibitors that wanted to go ahead and show off their stuff that they opened up the side room over here. And you can see here, maybe I could just go ahead and do that right here. Okay, it's like a side ballroom that they have put together to be able to go ahead and house some additional exhibitors, plus some other smaller makers, which I'll get into in a second. But the reason why I did this is because initially, when you get to Blade Show, and I'll just go ahead and talk about this right now, the main entrance is the rotunda. It's actually right here. You go up some stairs or some escalators, because this is across from the parking garage, by the way, which comes in through here, and you go this way right here to registration. Now, this will take you to will call, general registration, or cap registration, which is something that I did want to briefly go over. Now, this is a cap ticket, Okay, I kind of blacked out, or I X'd out a couple of fees because obviously you don't really need to know about that. But basically, these were formerly known as the VIP passes, and it offers the same benefits as previous Blade shows. You basically have a discount with these tickets that they grant you access for all 3 days, and they allow you to start entering the actual the event an hour early on Friday. So you get an hour early access on Friday. So typically the way that the floor hours are for Blade Show is Friday it'll start from 2 to 7 p.m. for general admission, Saturday is 9 to 6 p.m., and then Sunday is 9 to 2. With this, you can actually get in all 3 days, but on Friday, you can get in at 1 instead of 2 p.m., and that's actually pretty crucial, but I'll tell you one thing that's even better than that in a moment, okay? So as far as tickets are concerned, you can get general admission. You can try to opt for one of the cap passes, which is like that pass that I told you about, or you can end up getting an early bird entry. Okay, so that is actually something that I got for Friday. I purchased a Friday pass as well as the cap pass and the early bird entry. Now, the reason why I got the early bird entry is because it allows me to be able to get in at 12 noon. Okay, and that gives me a full 2 hours before everybody else gets in, so I can go ahead and snap as much footage before the masses get in, and then they start to buy off all the customs or the really nice stuff, and then I'm left with the, the snout part of the pig. Exactly. I want to get the good parts. So, not only just for me, but for you guys as well. So that's one reason why I did it. Now, the second reason is because there are companies, and that's why I went ahead and I put stuff here. There are companies, and it's not necessarily Kershaw or ZT or Mastrop, which is now Drop, or even Giant Mouse. Actually, yeah, Giant Mouse. They're going to have a lot of exclusive stuff there. In particular, Giant Mouse is going to be debuting their Ace Biblio with a titanium handle, which is freaking awesome, and I'm hoping to get my hands on it. If not, I mean, it is what it is, but I like to at least snap some footage, maybe go ahead and snag one for myself. But in any case, Microtech has exclusives for Blade Show that are sold at a certain price, and there are knives that you can only get from Blade Show. There are a couple of things that are going to be presented by companies that are going to sell these exclusively at Blade Show, and if you don't get them there, either you can never get them again, or you can probably get them on a secondary market for quite a bit of a markup, or you may be able to get it, maybe later on by the manufacturer. So just a quick heads up. If you're going to get there, and if you're interested in getting something exclusive from a particular company, chances are you're going to have a lot better of an opportunity if you get one of the either like the cap passes, like I mentioned, this one right here, or even one of these Friday, early bird entries. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't show the whole thing because it shows my full name and it has the pass number and all that stuff. So I gotta be, I gotta be cool with that. So yeah. Anyways, go back to the map. Okay. So, a couple things to know about right from the get-go with Blade Show. Okay, aside from the fact that, you have all of this going on with general admission, cap passes, VIP entry, all that stuff, before we get into, the actual show, you do need to understand that there is parking, but this year is the first year that Blade Show will actually, or the location hosting Blade Show is going to be charging for parking. So if they are going to, go ahead and charge for parking, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, you can either choose to Uber over there, you can choose a taxi, maybe you can pay for parking at the hotel, and you can use the hotels across the street, and they have a skyline. You can basically go, or a skywalk, I think it's called. You can go from one place to the other, or just out here, right here in this area from the rotunda, when you go outside, they have some areas that allow parking, and then next to that there is a covered garage. And I know that for a fact because for the past 2 years I have parked there, and for the past 2 years there has been rain. So if you're going, I recommend you park there because there is actually also an underground tunnel which takes you basically down here to some elevators. You take it up, you go inside, and then you can go up to tickets, and then either go into the room, the side room, which is what I typically do. Go through everybody here, come out the exit, make my way into the main area, and then go into the main entrance of Blade Show, which takes you to the majority of the larger companies that are showing off some of their material for the second half of 2019. And this here is basically blank because there are a lot of either small mom and pop shops, small mom and pop designers, very well-known designers that are going to be providing their customs, or companies that resell customs on behalf of makers who couldn't make it to the show. Like, as an example, let me see, African Custom Knives, AFCK, I believe they're called. They are going to be here, and they're going to be selling some of the customs on behalf of Jason Guthrie, like the JG Scout, and a bunch of other knives from makers who are not able to go ahead and make it to the show, but did make Blade Show exclusive knives. So that's something to consider. Okay. Now, aside from that, you do need to know that if you haven't been here, this isn't all just about knives, even though it's called Blade Show. Okay. Blade Show is a place where people can purchase knives, they can talk knives, they can sell knives, they can also find equipment to be able to go ahead and work in tandem with their knives. Now, when I say work in tandem, that could be, you need a sheath for your fixed blade, if you need aftermarket handles for your knife, even, just other EDC gear that doesn't have to do with the actual knife itself. Say you need to sharpen it. Well, they have people who sell strops. They have people who sell sharpening equipment. I know that, I know previously, I'm pretty sure that KME sharpeners, actually, yeah, they are. They're here. Right here, actually. KME Sharpeners is going to be there. There's going to be quite a few other companies that sell supplies that will help with the knife maintenance on this for these particular knife. In fact, right here on this side, if you look, Knife Pivot Lube is actually going to be there too. That's KPL, by the way, in case you didn't know. So they're going to be there as well. And aside from knife companies and stuff that's basically used to maintain your knife, some non-knife companies are going to be there too. I do know that Prometheus Lights typically goes. Let me think, what else? Vanquest Tough Built Gear. They are a fantastic backpack company, and they also create some other stuff like wallets and that sort of thing. Great company to deal with. They're actually going to be on this side. Some of those subscription services, in this particular case, BattleBox will actually be there, and they're going to showcase some of the equipment that they have and some of the things that they're going to be providing in future drops. Aside from that, you have flashlight company. You have Olight. Olight's going to be here. Prometheus Lights is going to be here, as well as Nightcore. Nightcore is going to be there as well. So there's going to be a lot of non-knife related EDC gear here, because a lot of people have kind of gotten smart to the fact that if you carry a knife, and whichever knife it is, it could be maybe one of these, chances are you probably EDC something else, like I don't know, this guy right here. This guy is in my pocket probably about as much as this guy right here. So these kind of go together, at least for most people, and they realize that. So they've gone ahead and they've created a presence here at Blade Show that has been stemming over a couple of years, and they've gotten a really good following there. So I plan on checking some of them out too, and bringing some of that content, hopefully some future content to the show, not just Blade Show appearances and a brief Q&A. So yeah, as far as from the channel, expect a couple of really cool things. I'm going to be doing a giveaway, which I'm going to be announcing shortly before the show. I'm also going to be doing a collaboration with my two buddies that will have a really interesting story once we meet up. Eric from Outer Limitless and Mark from Extreme Edge Custom Kydex are actually meeting up with me, and they are coming to Blade Show for the first time. So that's going to be really cool. We are all going to be doing one big collaborative effort in covering the show, obviously from our own viewpoints, and we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A while we're here And I think that that's going to be really cool because, you know, it's a collaborative meeting of the minds, if you will, for different reasons. So I think that that's going to be really cool. Oh yeah, one other reason why I have this up here, the Mastrop and Brad Zinger dog tooth. It's kind of interesting that I brought this one here because Brad Zinger is actually going to be at Blade, and Mastrop is also going to be at Blade. But as you know, they are no longer called Mastrop; they're called Drop. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and talk to them about that. Maybe see if I can get a couple questions. Giant Mouse will be there. Kershaw will be there. ZT will be there. Spyderco will be there. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of other companies that are going to be there. A lot of producers, people, you know, knife designers, people that go ahead and they put some awesome stuff together. Funny story, and I'm actually glad I have this. This is an Eric and Southwestern design. This is the Spyderco Para 3. Now, I brought this with me to Blade Show last year, and that's kind of the reason why I have it here, of course. Everything has a purpose, right? So I was at the Spyderco booth, and I was speaking to a couple of people there, and I managed to go ahead and speak to Eric, Sal Glasser's son, and, you know, the designer for this knife. And I said, hey, man, you know, I know that a lot of people are a fan of the Para 2. It's one of those quintessential knives now in the collection. I think it's basically hit Delica status with them. And I think that, you know, oh, let me go ahead and try this again one more time. Flick, oh, come on. You know what? It's not the action of the knife, it's me. Okay, let's try this one more time. 1, 2, and, oh, wow, what the, man, there we go. Okay, so back to the story. I had mentioned to Eric that basically the Para 3 was one of those knives that I felt was really, you know, it was needed. And I wondered what his plans in the future would be. And this was after, you know, discussing knives and stuff with him for a while. Really cool cat. And he's like, well, it's funny you showed me the Para 3 because, and you know, don't tell anybody about this, but I've been kind of working on something behind the scenes with regards to the Para 3. And I was like, oh, well, you know, what have you been doing, if you don't mind my asking? He looked around, he looked behind him, he's like, okay, well, nobody's looking, let me go ahead and show you. And he actually took a knife out of his pocket, and it was the first prototype for the lightweight Para 3. So I actually knew about the lightweight Para 3 in June of 2018, and I knew that it was coming out. They were already testing. He was already testing and EDCing the prototype. Ooh, excuse me. He was actually EDCing the prototype way before production. In fact, production has just basically been going on for what, the past month or two of the lightweight Para 3, and it wasn't the iteration of version that you see today. The one that I saw was with basically translucent amber colored scales. Didn't have that bidirectional texture that, you know, the FRN that Spyderco came out with was used to, and it didn't have a CTS BD1N scale. Blade. It had an S35VN blade that he was carrying. I guess it was from one of his own sprint runs that he had taken, and he had basically Frankensteined the FRN scales onto, which I thought it was really cool. And I couldn't wait to see it finally, you know, go into fruition, and it finally did. And I'm sure it's going to be even a greater hit once the sprint runs hit, which, don't say I told you, but, you know, CTS XHP, S35VN, all of those, you're going to see the lightweight Para 3 sprint runs very soon. So keep that in mind. You heard it here first, probably. Yeah, sort of, kind of, maybe, probably, on Daily Carry Solutions. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this away. So yeah, those are things that I would really recommend as far as Blade Show, visiting Blade Show. Oh yeah, some other advice about the actual event, Blade Show. Bring cash. Okay, cash is king if you're going to go ahead and purchase something over there, and bring a lot of it. And I say this because while there are ATM machines at Blade Show, you are going to find that number one, there's never enough ATM machines for people that need money over there. Number two, the cash is going to be emptied out pretty quickly from people who forgot to bring the dough and then see something that they really like say, for example, the titanium Ace Biblio, which, by the way, look at me now, Paul. I picked one up. Yeah, I was able to finally pick one of these green micarta Biblios up, and for a really great price, and with this awesome lanyard that has this bead on it, which is awesome. In fact, define irony. Okay, this is what basically got me sold on Ace knives for the Giant Mouse label, or the Giant Mouse company for Giant Mouse knives. And this particular lanyard has a bead on it. Now, if you can look at it, it has a Norse rune on there. And that rune, from what I was able to deduce online, because, you know, Google translator basically said that rune is basically translated as gateway. So this was my gateway that segued me basically into Giant Mouse knives. So pretty cool stuff. Plan on going ahead and checking out some of the rest of the items that they have over at the Giant Mouse booth, as well as some of the other booths that are going to be there, and I hope to provide some really cool coverage. So yeah, take some money over there, find some good parking, lock up your cars. Oh yeah, and you may want to also bring a backpack with you. Okay, you're gonna get a lot of swag while you're over there. You're gonna get pamphlets, you're gonna get brochures, you're gonna get, you know, stuff on behalf of the sponsors of the company when you walk in, and maybe some stuff that you feel that you want to buy that isn't necessarily knife related. Maybe some t-shirts, maybe some flashlights, maybe some, you know, cleaning supplies, whatever. And you want, you know, you're not gonna carry that around in your little plastic bag. You want to have some swag. You just go ahead and put it into your bag, your backpack, and walk around with it. Also, if you have your backpack, just between you and I, you can sneak in some drinks. And I'm not saying the alcoholic kind, because, you know, I personally, I'll have my glass of wine every now and then, but I don't really drink. I usually carry a 32-ounce bottle, Nalgene bottle, with me to the show, and then that way I can go ahead and pass by, you know, water fountain, fill it back up, keep going, yada, 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 and then I don't have to pay for any drinks. I know I'm a cheapskate, but whatever, it is what it is. It's my EDC, and I'm so used to it that I take it with me anyway, so you can actually also do that. But bring a backpack, take money. You're gonna have to pay for parking, but get good parking, get covered parking, and enjoy the show, ladies and gents. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It's my brief, I guess, banter about Blade Show, and I hope to see you all there. If you plan to be there, please try to look for me. It's going to be Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions. You might see me walking around. You might see Eric from Outer Limitless. You might see Mark from Extreme Edge Custom Kydex. Feel free to pass by and say hello, or say hello to them, and, you know, kind of talk knives or whatever. And, you know, you're going to run into a lot of people, and not just us. There's going to be a lot of YouTube personalities that are going to be out there. I know Birdshot IV is going to be there. Nick Shabazz is going to be there. Slicey Dicey, Blade Banter. I mean, there's going to be quite a few of the YouTubers that are going to be out there doing coverage. So I'm not going to be the only channel doing this, but I just wanted to go ahead and give you a heads up as to what to expect, and hopefully I will see you there. Now, if you want to go ahead and see some of the stuff as it unfolds, and before I've gone ahead and I've edited all the crap that I get, you know, and I post it online onto my YouTube page, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you haven't already done so. But my Instagram is going to have all of the pictures and some brief, you know, video on it before everything else. So go ahead and follow me at instagram.com/dailycarrysolutions. You can follow me on YouTube again at youtube.com/dailycarrysolutions. Go ahead and slap a like button if your mama taught you right. And I hope to see you all again sometime. So remember, if you EDC, think of DCS. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope to see you at Blade. If not, catch you next year. Take it here.